I never imagined I'd be the kind of person blindsided by his own family. But looking back, the signs were probably always there. My name is Alex. I'm 28. I work in tech. It's nothing flashy, but it covers the bills and lets me take my girlfriend out without checking my bank account before ordering dessert. I've always been the low maintenance one in my family, the easy kid, as my mom liked to say. The one who didn't create problems, didn't ask for much, didn't need rescuing or extra attention. That used to feel like praise. Now I understand it was just another way of saying, the one we can overlook. My sister Jenna is 2 years younger, but you'd think she was the center of the universe. Blonde, loud, Instagram famous, for reasons no one can clearly define. She's the type who turns every family gathering into a showcase for her latest brand deal, or how her boyfriend turned fiancé, Tyler, completely vibes with their couples therapist. Yes, therapy before the wedding. Red flags everywhere, but try pointing that out to my parents. To them, Jenna is royalty. Everything she does is celebrated and displayed. When I got promoted at work once, my mom asked if I was finally moving up from that app thing I do. Despite all of it, I kept my distance without burning bridges. I showed up for the major events, birthdays, holidays, the occasional dinner where Jenna dominated the conversation while I quietly waited for dessert. I don't hate her. I just don't trust her. There's a difference. Jenna gives you a gift with one hand and holds a camera in the other so she can post your reaction online. Everything is content, even family. A few months ago, she got engaged to Tyler during a wine tasting trip in Napa, something we all followed through her nonstop Instagram stories. I found out through a group text, a champagne emoji, a looping video of the ring, and the caption, "He finally put a ring on it. Tashi wifey vibes 10 Gen forever." My mom texted me the next day, "Aren't you so happy for your sister?" Not a question, an expectation. Of course I said congratulations. Of course I liked the photo. Of course I RSVP'd yes to the engagement dinner, even though I knew it would be overdone with mason jar centerpieces and scripted speeches. My girlfriend Emily encouraged me to go. She's thoughtful, quiet, kind, and perceptive. She notices things before I do. "It's just one night," she said while we brushed our teeth that morning. "You show up, smile for the photos, and then we get ice cream after." That's who she is. She makes difficult situations manageable. The dinner was at a rooftop venue downtown, one of those trendy spots with Edison bulbs hanging overhead and $25 cocktails topped with flower petals. Exactly the kind of place Jenna would tag months in advance. We arrived 5 minutes early, Emily's style. The moment we stepped inside, I felt it. That subtle shift, like walking into a room where the music pauses just long enough for you to realize you weren't truly expected. A long white table stood at the back, decorated with candles and gold place cards written in Jenna's looping handwriting. Mom, Uncle Mark, Aunt Linda. Several names from Tyler's side. I scanned once, then again, nothing. "No card for us?" Emily asked softly. I gave a tight smile and tried to stay calm. I knew how it would look, the quiet brother complaining about a name tag. Then I saw Jenna approaching, arm linked with Tyler, holding a pink, sparkling drink. Her dress shimmered under the lights. "Alex," she said, almost surprised. Then she laughed. "Didn't think you'd actually come." "Why wouldn't I asked. She shrugged. "You're always busy with your little computer job, and you're not really a dinner party person." Then she turned to Emily and gave her a careful half hug. "You look adorable. Love the dress. Zara?" Emily smiled. "Thanks." Jenna gestured toward the bar. "There's open seating over there. It's more casual, but you can hang there. Dinner's starting soon." And just like that, she walked away, leaving her own brother without a seat at her engagement dinner. Emily and I moved to the cocktail tables near the bar. I sat on a stool, suddenly aware of how misplaced I felt in my blazer. Emily said nothing, just rested her hand on my knee. She saw it too. I told myself it didn't matter. I wasn't there for approval. I was there to support my sister, even if she barely included me. Speeches began at the main table. I wasn't asked to speak. My dad toasted with tears in his eyes. My mom looked proud, as if she'd raised royalty. Jenna sat in the center, glowing under the attention. Dinner was served, overpriced tapas and carefully plated desserts. Eventually, a server brought us cold leftovers and quietly said, "Sorry about the delay," as if we were staff, not family. Jenna never came back to our table. Not once. Then the bill arrived. A waiter approached and handed me a leather folder. "Sir, the bill." "I'm sorry," I said. "The hostess mentioned you'd be handling it." Before I could respond, Emily leaned forward. Calm. Precise. "We're not even on the guest list." She said with a polite smile, "You might want to check with the bride." The waiter paused, understanding the situation, nodded, and walked away. I looked at Emily. She raised her eyebrows and took another sip of her drink. Something shifted in me then. Quiet but permanent. It wasn't about money. It was about being invisible in a room full of people who were supposed to see me. About being treated like a prop at an event where I wasn't truly welcome. About realizing that sometimes family stops being a place of belonging and becomes a stage where you're expected to applaud. I didn't confront Jenna that night, but I started thinking differently. The next morning, I woke up with the familiar emptiness that follows a night of pretending you're fine. Emily and I had gone for pancakes afterward, a small act of independence after feeling sidelined. Halfway through breakfast, she finally said, "You know this isn't normal, right? The way they treat you." I wanted to dismiss it. Say families are complicated. Say Jenna is just Jenna. Say it didn't bother me. But I couldn't. It did bother me. It was personal. And deep down, I'd known for years that I was the placeholder in my own family, the one who could be overlooked without consequence. I didn't reply to the group chat that day. There were photos from the dinner, emotional captions, a video of Jenna and Tyler kissing, while everyone applauded like it was a royal event. I watched it once, then muted the notifications. I wish I could say I cut them off then. But that's not realistic. You don't wake up and sever ties overnight. You try again. You hope something changes. And each time, you're reminded it won't. The engagement preparations continued. Save the date cards arrived, designed like magazine covers. Jenna and Tyler holding hands at sunset, smiling at the camera. Mine arrived 2 weeks late, bent at the corner. The envelope said Alex plus guest, written in pen. When I mentioned it to my mom, she laughed. "Oh, honey, you know how Jenna is. She must have mixed them up. Don't be so sensitive." Sensitive. That word follows me everywhere in this family. Jenna can cause scenes in restaurants, pressure our parents into paying her rent for 6 months, and post quotes about cutting toxic people when someone disagrees with her. But I'm the sensitive one. After that, I pulled back. I still replied when necessary. Sent a gift for my dad's 60th birthday. Showed up to my niece's piano recital because I promised her. But I stopped pretending I was part of the inner circle. Emily watched it happen. She saw my jaw tighten during phone calls, saw my expression change when my mom praised Jenna's influencer career and referred to my work as tech stuff. She knew I wasn't ready to admit what I was feeling. Then family means sacrifice. Family means putting your pride aside so the golden child can shine without interruption. I ended the call shortly after. I told her I would think about it, but I already knew my answer. The breaking point came 3 days later. I was working late when my phone pinged. It was Emily. Just a link, no message. It led to Jenna's latest Instagram post, a sponsored reel for a wedding planner. I watched it, my jaw tightening with every second. She was posing in a white dress at the venue, spinning under chandeliers, lip-syncing to trending audio. The caption read, "Can't wait to marry the love of my life at the dream venue. Shout out to my amazing brother, Alex, for making this possible." I stared at the screen. I hadn't given her a cent. She had lied publicly. She used my name to imply I funded her venue so she could secure a brand deal. She turned my reputation into marketing leverage. I didn't call her. I didn't text. I just stood there, letting years of buried frustration surface all at once. And for the first time, I didn't push it aside. I didn't excuse it. I didn't forgive it. Because I knew exactly what had to happen next. After that post, I logged off for 3 days. No texts, no emails, no social media. I put my phone in a drawer and left it there like it was toxic. Emily checked in without hovering. She made tea, sat beside me, touched my hand now and then without saying much. She understood something I hadn't said out loud yet. I wasn't just embarrassed. I was done. Not in a dramatic way. I wasn't making announcements or creating scenes. It was quieter than that, like a rope snapping after being pulled too tight for too long. I had spent my entire adult life playing the understanding brother, the polite son, the quiet one who avoided conflict. But I was sinking. And the strange part was, I didn't want anyone in my family to pull me out. When I finally turned my phone back on, there were 17 missed calls. 9 from my mom, 4 from my dad, the rest from unknown numbers, likely Jenna's friends or people trying to clarify the lie about the venue before it spread further. There were group chat messages too, screenshots of Jenna's post, people tagging me, some even thanking me. Such a generous brother. You really came through for them. Respect, man. I stared at the messages like they were written in another language. There was no public correction from Jenna, no apology, no clarification, just one private message. It's just PR. Don't overreact. I didn't respond because it wasn't just PR. It was my name, my time, my integrity, and it wasn't only about that one moment. It was about the years before it. The Christmas I gave her a laptop for school, only to see her selling it 2 weeks later. The Thanksgiving she told friends I was between jobs, even though I had just been promoted. The birthday she skipped. The lies she told. The way she rewrote every story so she was the star and I was background support. That night, Emily said something that stayed with me. You can't change who they are, but you can stop giving them the microphone. So I chose silence. No texts, no explanations. I removed myself from the family group chat. I muted Jenna's account. I blocked a few of her friends who kept tagging me in wedding posts. At first, the quiet felt uncomfortable, almost like exile. It felt as if I was punishing myself by stepping back. But over time, that silence began to feel like peace. I started doing something I hadn't done in years. I made time for myself. Real time. No interruptions. No family drama. I woke up early and walked to the coffee shop with Emily, even on days I wasn't working. I started reading again, books I had meant to finish for years. I picked up a journal and began writing, not just venting, but tracking goals, habits, and boundaries. I didn't know where it would lead. I just knew I needed to rebuild. My work life improved first. It's surprising how removing emotional noise sharpens focus. I completed tasks faster. I volunteered for more responsibility. My manager noticed. So did the director. During a team brainstorm, I pitched a feature that eventually became a full project. 2 months later, I was leading it, quietly, confidently. I didn't tell my parents. I didn't post about it. It was mine. Around that time, Emily and I planned a weekend trip. Just the two of us. No phones, no social media. We stayed in a quiet cabin upstate with large windows overlooking trees and open sky. We hiked, cooked together, talked about real things, life, goals, what we wanted to build. That trip made something clear. I had been shrinking myself to fit into spaces I had already outgrown. I had allowed my family to define my value for so long that I forgot I could step outside their script. I wasn't just the quiet brother. I wasn't a background character. I mattered, even if they never acknowledged it. When we returned, something shifted. I stopped waiting for change and started creating it. I made a separate email for family correspondence so I could filter it and choose when to engage. I unlinked my work information from personal social media. I even told Emily I wanted to move a bit farther from the city, somewhere with more space. She immediately agreed. We began looking at rentals the following week. Meanwhile, wedding planning continued without me. No updates, no requests, not even an invite to the next family brunch. They didn't notice my absence. Or if they did, they didn't mention it. I saw fragments online. Jenna's bachelorette trip in Tulum, a surprise bridal photo shoot at the venue, videos of dress fittings with friends, and my mom. I wasn't in any of it. And for the first time, that absence didn't hurt. It felt like freedom. Until one night in early May, when everything shifted again. Emily and I had just finished dinner when I received a voicemail from my dad. That alone was unusual. He's not emotional, but his voice sounded unsteady. Alex, listen. I know things have been rocky, but we need to talk about the wedding. Something's happened. Call me. I froze. Emily paused mid-sip. Is it serious or another manipulation? Only one way to find out, I said. I called him back. He answered immediately. Hey, buddy, he said casually. Thanks for calling. What's going on? He hesitated. I don't want to drag you into this, but Jenna's in a tough spot. What kind of spot? He exhaled. The venue fell through. I blinked. How? The contract wasn't finalized. In fact, she posted about it for a brand deal before officially booking it. They assumed she was confirmed because she tagged them and exchanged emails, but she never paid the deposit. Now they're fully booked. I stayed silent. She's panicking, he continued. Your mom's trying to calm her down, but it's bad. She's talking about postponing. Then came the real reason for the call. She thinks maybe you could help. You're organized. You work in tech. Maybe you can find a solution. We need to pull together right now. There it was. They cut me out, ignored me, let Jenna use my name publicly. And now that her plan was collapsing, they remembered I existed, reliable, calm, useful. I didn't respond immediately. Emily watched me quietly. She didn't need to speak. We both understood. They hadn't changed. Maybe it was time I did. I didn't say no right away. And I think that surprised my dad. A few months earlier, I would have shut it down immediately. But I had learned something. Silence isn't always surrender. Sometimes it's strategy. Let me think about it, I said. He accepted it. Over the next few days, the messages resumed, from my mom, from Jenna, even from Tyler. The tone was consistent, desperate, overly sweet, and filled with exaggerated gratitude. Mom, I know we've had issues, but your sister needs you. She's overwhelmed. Can we talk? I know things got messy, but you're still my brother. Tyler, respect, if you can help. She trusts you. It was like watching people realize the bridge they burned was their only way back, and now they were trying to repair it with compliments and emojis. I didn't reply. Instead, I researched. I searched every venue within a 200-mile radius that could host a wedding of Jenna's size in less than 3 months. There weren't many, at least not by her standards. She wanted chandeliers, marble floors, arched windows, elegance, a fairy tale aesthetic. What was realistically available looked more like a backyard gathering with folding chairs. That's when I understood something clearly. Jenna wasn't focused on getting married. She was focused on appearing married, on the visuals, the optics, the curated image. In many ways, her real wedding had already happened online. The posts, hashtags, brand partnerships, that was the production. The ceremony was simply the finale. If the finale failed, the entire narrative. Strange how the only available dates were Friday afternoons or Sundays at noon. Not exactly peak wedding time. I nodded. Do any of them look good in photos? It doesn't need to function perfectly. It just needs to look impressive. He paused longer this time. I might have something. He told me about a property about an hour outside the city, a large estate being converted into a venue. It hadn't officially opened yet. Renovations were still underway, but visually it was flawless. Ivy-covered walls, a grand staircase, an old conservatory with glass ceilings. The owner was accepting inquiries for future bookings, but nothing for this season. There's no way she'll actually get it, Marcus said. But if you tell her she has it. I smiled. That was enough. Next, I called my cousin Jake. Jake's a photographer, and a good one. Weddings, concerts, proposals, even commercial work. He's also been quietly excluded by parts of our family since he came out 5 years ago. Jenna, especially. At his own birthday party, she once told him he shouldn't make everything about being gay. We hadn't spoken in a while, but when I explained what I was planning, he laughed so hard he nearly choked. You want me to help ruin Jenna's wedding? Think of it as creative direction, I replied. He agreed immediately. Emily helped too. She didn't ask for details. She saw the look in my eyes and understood this wasn't petty revenge. It wasn't about humiliating Jenna for entertainment. It was about ending a long-standing pattern, about rewriting the role they had assigned me since childhood. We planned carefully. Timelines, contingencies, moving parts. I built spreadsheets, created temporary email accounts, contacted vendors and placed soft holds under Jenna's name, enough to create the illusion of progress, but nothing confirmed. I forwarded selective emails with small mistakes. She believed every word. When I finally replied to her message, she was suddenly grateful and humble, at least on the surface. You're seriously a lifesaver, Alex. I don't know why we ever stopped talking. That almost made me laugh. She didn't miss me. She missed the convenience I provided, the stability she relied on when things got complicated. So I gave it to her. I sent her photos of the estate Marcus had described. Empty, polished, untouched. I told her I had a connection who could fit her in. I mocked up a reservation email and attached a professional-looking invoice PDF filled with convincing terminology. She didn't question it. That night, she posted again. Another reel. More hashtags. So grateful to my big brother Alex for saving the day. We got our dream venue after all. Emily and I watched it over dinner, sipping wine. She leaned closer. You're starting to worry me. Good, I said calmly. A week later, Jenna asked if I could help with the photographer. Of course, I replied. I sent her Jake's portfolio under a different name. I described him as new but talented and ambitious. She loved the work immediately. These are ethereal, she said. He captures real magic. She had no idea it was the cousin she once excluded because he might make grandma uncomfortable. Jake agreed to do it without hesitation. The plan was aligning. Then came the registry. Jenna's official registry was excessive. Expensive appliances, a honeymoon fund for Bora Bora, cash gifts. Tyler had even added a PS5 and designer sneakers. She posted it in the family group chat with a playful message. In case you're feeling generous. My parents contributed $2,000 to the honeymoon fund. Meanwhile, Emily and I created a second registry under Jenna's name. Same platform, same couple. At first glance, it looked normal. But the deeper you scrolled, the stranger it became. A gold-plated garlic press. A dog tuxedo, they don't own a dog. A $400 emotional support cactus. Matching adult-sized bibs. A personalized cutting board reading Tyler's Meat Zone. And at the very bottom, a framed photo of me with the caption, because none of this would be possible without Alex. We made it public and let it circulate. Within 48 hours, screenshots began spreading. Confusion, laughter, comments multiplying. Jenna didn't notice right away. She was too focused on posting cake tastings and dress previews. But it was only a matter of time. The venue that didn't exist, the photographer with history, the registry slowly turning into a meme. All that remained was timing. The wedding was scheduled for June 17th, a Saturday. Warm early summer weather, the kind Instagram brides envision. Jenna had posted a countdown every day for a month, vendor tags, teasers of her dress. Just enough for hype. She called it the event of the year. She posted the venue 3 times the week before. Same caption each time, manifesting magic, followed by credit to me. I was the hero, the fixer, the MVP. My name appeared everywhere, captions, comments, even a small wedding planning blog feature she managed to secure. All built on fiction. Her 43,000 followers were excited, so was the family. My mom left a voicemail, emotional, proud. You really came through for your sister. This wedding will be perfect. I almost felt guilty, almost. The night before the ceremony, Jenna texted 3 times. The last message read, "Can't wait to hug you tomorrow. You really saved us. I don't know how I can ever repay you." I didn't reply. I already knew. The ceremony was set for 4 p.m. Emily and I arrived at 4:30, not at the venue. That wasn't possible. We were sitting in a cafe 2 blocks away from the estate Jenna believed she had reserved. At 3:45, Jake texted, "Here, nothing's set up. She's panicking. Everyone's in the parking lot." I took a slow sip of coffee. By 4:15, confusion had turned into disorder. The estate wasn't open. The gates were locked. The owner, unaware of any booking, had contacted security when a wedding party attempted to enter the grounds. I had anticipated this. A week earlier, I anonymously emailed the venue manager, warning them that an influencer might attempt unauthorized use. I attached screenshots of Jenna's public claims. They were not pleased. Security was prepared. At 4:18 p.m., Jenna posted a selfie. Some venue drama. Stay tuned. Lol. Still optimistic. Still performing. But the situation escalated quickly. Guests were calling each other. Vendors were confused. Tyler's groomsmen were sweating in formal wear. Grandma was moved back into an air-conditioned van. Bridesmaids stood holding decorative bouquets for a ceremony that wasn't happening. And Jenna, she was overwhelmed. At 4:32, she called me. I didn't answer. She called again. Texted, "Alex, where are you?" I muted my phone. Emily glanced at me. "She still thinks you're coming." "She still thinks I'll fix it," I replied. By 5 p.m., guests began leaving. Jake sent updates, wide shots of people dispersing. The contrast to the curated aesthetic was stark. One photo stood out, Jenna near the locked gates, lifting her dress off the gravel, mascara smudged, shouting into her phone while Tyler stood behind her, visibly stressed. I sent that image to Emily. By 6 p.m., it was finished. No backup venue, no ceremony, no reception lights. 200 guests left confused, frustrated, or mildly amused. Some posted online, "The influencer wedding that never happened." Hashtags trended, for the wrong reasons. That night, Jenna posted a black screen. "Respect our privacy at this time." I laughed, more from release than humor. The consequences followed quickly. Within 48 hours, several sponsors paused or ended partnerships. A wedding planning app issued a statement distancing itself from inaccurate information provided by a client. Her follower count dropped by nearly 7,000 in a week. But the real damage was personal. My mom called. She wasn't angry. She wasn't crying. She was disappointed in me. I don't understand how you let it get this far. You knew how much this meant to her. I paused. Did she tell you the venue wasn't booked? Well, no. Did she correct the post claiming I paid for it? Silence. That's not the point, she said. It is the point, I replied. Another pause. So you sabotaged it? I didn't answer directly. Instead, I said, she's lied for years. She's hurt people, and no one stopped her. You supported it. I just made sure the truth surfaced. There was silence. Then she hung up. Jenna